Hello, this is Two Men in Football. I am Brandon Brady Fitzpatrick. I'm filling in for Chris Smith, and to my left here is BK.
Boy, BK.
Together we're the Killer Bees.
Killer Bees, son.
I messed up my DJ here.
We are filling in for Chris Smith today, who's out celebrating Yom Kippur with his family. We hope they're having a great time together. Good family time.
Yep.
Happy Yom
And
Kippur to them.
we are live at Chinaro's Pizza, 116 North Barclay Street in Greenville. They also have a Clemson location. You can call them at 864-603-3500. Coming from a New Yorker, the pizza here is amazing. So take my word for all our guests that are watching right now. Take my word for it. Great pizza. But let's dive right into it.
Let's do it.
Awesome weekend for both college and NFL. I'm more partial to NFL. However, my Fighting Irish had, I think, to me, it was game of the week. And it came down to the last second. Definitely not the last man, because the Notre Dame Fighting Irish were missing one man on two plays back to back.
How does that happen?
I don't know. And you know what? With a new program, you would have kind of expected Jackson State or something like that, but not Fighting Irish, and especially not under someone like Marcus Freeman.
But did you hear his excuse after the game?
No, I didn't. I chose to ignore it. No.
So he said, I didn't want to throw the 11th man out because I didn't want to risk a penalty. You're at the freaking 6-inch line, man. What's the penalty?
The last second.
What's the penalty?
Yeah, exactly. You're just gonna go
Do it like
a centimeter, right? To me, that was one of the best Notre Dame games I've ever seen, and really, we're kind of getting back into dominance, and you can see it. You can see the process, and it's so exciting to see that happening with Notre Dame again. And that's how you lose the game. And that one man could have made the difference. I really could have made the difference.
Well, yeah.
Because if you look at the last play, the guy looked like they stopped.
Right. Well, yeah. So what they did was they noticed there's only 10 men on the field, so they ran the play right where that guy was supposed to be at. So yeah, I mean, it cost them.
So it'll be very hard for Notre Dame to be in the national champion conversation, but listen, it's growing pains, and I had my doubts about Marcus Freeman, but it looks like he's doing a good job. The recruiting's even better, and I just feel like Notre Dame is going to become a destination spot.
I hope so. I mean, it's always good when the Irish are playing.
Yeah, it's like the Yankees are like good in baseball. It's always good, healthy for the sport when certain teams like Ohio State, like Michigan, and even USC, the old school teams, Notre Dame. It's always healthy for the sport when they're a lot better. Because over the past 10 years, it's been Alabama, Dylon. Like,
It's been hot.
yeah. But now I'm glad it's Georgia. I know a lot of people in this area would hate to hear that, but I like my dogs, and especially Bulldogs. But
I think college football fans are SEC out. Like, it's,
Yeah.
Every year, all right, Alabama, Georgia, it's time for something fresh, something new. So seeing Notre Dame play well
And the ACC has been really good this year. And moving on to another ACC game was Florida State and Clemson, who was another great game. And Clemson had some miscues. And Florida State, I haven't seen Florida State this good since 2001 or whenever.
we're in Tiger Town, buddy.
I know. I'm gonna get some claws.
They're gonna come busting through the door here tomorrow.
Team goal for a second. But no, I mean, listen, I'll admit it, I do not like Clemson. I used to when I first moved here, and then I got a bad taste in my mouth, and they're a respectable program. However, they're never going to be in the conversation of Alabama or Georgia or all those powerhouses, because you've been to the dance a couple times, you expect to be there every single year, which is not good.
Had a good
Sorry.
run.
I feel like the recruitment has gone down from Clemson. They're not getting those Alabama 5-star recruits. They're not getting those Georgia 5-star recruits.
But why? Like, excuse my ignorance. How did you go from getting Deshaun Watson, getting Trevor? How do you be on top with recruiting and then so quickly just?
Is it a matter of overthinking it? Because you had Deshaun, you had Todd Boyd, you had Trevor Lawrence. All three of them, I think, won a national championship, or maybe no, two of them. Anyway, gosh, you're right. Deshaun did, and Trevor Lawrence. Is Dabo overthinking it and thinking that he is a quarterback whisperer and he can turn anyone into Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence? Because they were exceptional. Trevor Lawrence, say what you want to say about his NFL career, he looks like he's doing pretty good now, but he was a dominant college football quarterback. I'm not going to compare him to Tebow, but he was someone like that can win you the game no matter what. Now, obviously, again, I don't want to get into their NFL career yet because I think it's still a little short-sighted, and it's a different game.
He's called the Prince that was promised. Trevor Lawrence.
No, I never.
That's the nickname that he's given in the NFL. The Prince that was promised.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy Nick Wright, he's
I
person for yeah.
Please don't.
Anyway, he calls
As a Bills fan, please do not quote Nick Wright.
The Prince that was promised. It's a cute nickname,
I call him Barbadol Ken. And then some people call him Sunshine from the last
Remember the
Titans. Yeah. So, but anyway, another notable game was our friend Deion Sanders, friend of the show, Deion Sanders.
Hold on, I'm gonna put my prime time shades on here.
Listen, I hope they all had fun the last 3 years, and they looked like they did.
Had a good run.
And listen, I think all of us wanted to see this go forward and progress and be good. But Colorado has not been that powerhouse school for a very long time. Last year they were 1-11.
Nobody cared about Colorado.
No one. So he brought him to relevancy. Gabe was there last week. 60 Minutes. He was on 60 Minutes last week. But welcome to playing a top 10 school.
But
it could have been Oregon, it could have been USC,
he brought them $90 million in frats.
So you can move on to another school because you did your job. Just like you did Jackson State.
He's fun to watch, though.
And
his son, Shadori, he's fun to watch. They're a fun team, but you're right. They're going up against Oregon.
And it didn't need to be Oregon. Any 10-1 team, you're gonna have a reality check, and that's what happened last night or yesterday. And I actually wish it was a little closer. I wish they scored some points. They really didn't.
Do you think they've been humbled? Is this prime time going to be?
Well, I haven't heard a peep out of prime time, which is hard. And maybe I missed it. Maybe I just missed. They're not really talking about it, which is weird as well. But listen, they still have to play the Pac-12 is really good this year. Washington's good. USC's good. They have a reigning Heisman Trophy winner. UCLA is pretty good. Obviously, Oregon's pretty good. They still have to play all those teams. And USC is coming up. So, I hope they are humble. I don't necessarily think that's a bit of a strong. Humble is like, you did wrong, right? They didn't do anything wrong.
But let me ask you, would you like a humble Deion? I don't. I want braggadocio.
Yeah, you're asking him to be someone who's not.
Right.
Now, could he be a little bit humbled in a way of like, listen, we're going to focus in on things that, not being on 60 Minutes or this. We're going to focus in on trying not to get clickbait and being in the spotlight. We want to focus in on the fundamentals of football and get better. Because you set yourself up to be in the spotlight. So when you play, well, what about next year when Alabama's on?
So
Or something like that.
I think the hope is that Deion's bringing so much attention that he can now give those 5-star recruits that Alabama's going to. What's going to happen? I don't know. We're going to see.
I think
that's the goal.
But
Right? Yeah.
listen, you get a good team. Next year you can make the playoffs. Next year you make it further in the playoffs. Like you just baby steps. And
Hold on.
they really won 2 more games than they did last year.
Oh, they've already tripled their.
Right.
So, but when his son is done, does Deion leave with his son, or does he keep coaching?
It's a good question. I mean, he's going to be an 8-year senior. You know, like,
Sure, why not? Man? Hey, they're getting paid now. Why not?
yeah. If you're trying to baby walk on campus, Boulder's not that big of a campus, so you're saying that, you know,
You guys are Maybach?
I know. I learned that on 60 Minutes. That's Deion money. That's Affleck money.
Yes,
You know. But listen, you know, I felt bad. I really did. He had Deion Sanders had a look at the feet, and you don't see that very often. I know he hasn't played in a very long time, but having a look at the feet, he's won a World Series, he's won two Super Bowls, right? Like, yeah, and he is one of the most shut down, like, secondary.
He's fun to watch, and he's brought a lot of attention.
So, you know, good luck going forward, Deion. We're rooting for you, but welcome to the real world. And then, you know, going back into the obvious part was, like, so they opened up against the national championship contender last year, who has gotten rid of most of their players from last year.
Almost all.
Yeah, so they weren't ranked as high as they were last year. They were ranked top 25. I think it was like they were 18. So you kind of had a gimme game. You surprised everyone. And then the last 2 other games, you didn't play anyone ranked. So you looked really good. So
It was fun.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And
And
they got exposed, right? So how do you go back to the film room and say, okay, what do we need to fix now?
Who they got coming up?
They definitely have, let's see, they definitely have, the Pac-12 team. So here we go.
Next we got.
Next you have USC, which is number 8.
Caleb.
So you got your foot whooped by 10. Now you're playing 8. Arizona State,
Oregon, though, right?
Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, which is number 19, Arizona, Washington State, that's number 16, and Utah. And I think that's it. So they're going to be traveling to the West Coast. Yeah.
I'm Team Deion. Let's go.
I so much. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather be Team Deion than not.
Team Saban.
So, you know, the other college games are, you know, not really anything to kind of brag about or talk about.
Let's move on to some pro.
Let's move on to some pro.
Let's go. Big weekend this
yeah, let's do that. So, we're not going to be covering the games that were kind of just all over the place. I'll just pull up the scores right now.
Yeah, I don't think the listeners care about us going over the spread.
Like, all right, so everyone knows the 49ers beat the Giants on Thursday night, right? I mean, Titans Browns 27-3, Falcons Lions 20-6. I mean, Saints and Packers. Jordan Love looks pretty good, and I will say this, and this kind of is going to lead me into another game we're going to cover in a little bit, but Saints, Derek Carr got hurt. I feel like Derek Carr has found himself. He looks like a good quarterback.
He looks amazing, but now he's hurt.
Yeah, now he's hurt. So actually, the first game we're covering is Steelers Raiders. And the reason I wanted to cover this is because The Raiders lost another multi-interception game by Jimmy G. So is he doing the bunny ranch too much? Or, like Las Vegas?
Remember when he was going to be the new Brady years ago? That was the thing. They wanted to get rid of Brady for
That's what he's blowing his horn at the bunny ranch.
Then he was going to be the savior of the 49ers, and now he's in the Raiders.
Well, he was really good last year. And for a team that dumped him and re-signed him to be their backup. So over the past 2 years, was actually pretty good, way above average. And they drafted Trey Lance, who was from where? From Montana or like?
I don't know, but he's with the Cowboys now.
Yeah, he's with the Cowboys. So they drafted him, and then they wanted to start him, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, we'll resign you, but you have to be in the back and the ugly table. And
that's a kid's table.
right. And this whole time, he's brought him to the playoffs multiple times. So, I mean, good for him. He kind of kept his mouth shut, but he is Las Vegas regretting getting rid of Derek Carr. Because I feel like Devontae Adams feels that way.
But I think it's time for a conversation too. Is Brady, look, as a Dolphins fan, I hated Brady for years. Is it time to admit that Belichick's been struggling? McDaniels looks dreadful out in Vegas now, right? Listen, fourth down, right? He kicks a field. Why would you kick a field?
I don't know.
That's mind-boggling.
You go for the touchdown.
Why not? You got Jacobs, hand him the ball.
Or
him the ball.
Or even try a quarterback sneak. You go for the touchdown. Yeah, like, what is it saying? You play to win the game. But because now you have to get the ball back. And you would have given them a field position no matter what. So
yeah, even if you go for it and you don't get it, who cares? What are they on the 6-yard line or something like that? With Kenny Pickett?
But you have a better opportunity to score a touchdown from the 6-yard line than you might as well kick a field goal on third down if you wanted to.
Yes, I mean your question is, do they regret getting rid of Derek Carr? Probably, but Josh McDaniels, I feel like he would still bungle this whole thing.
Yeah, and it brings me to another thing, though. We all know the disciples of Bill Parcells or Bill Walsh. The disciples of Bill Belichick never were out.
Which is weird because the Shanahan disciples are all forced.
Right. Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But yeah,
they never. When they use one disciple of Bill Belichick that actually has a success.
You didn't like Matt Patricia with the Lions?
It was hard to watch.
I think Lions fans
Didn't he sit on
the
a
tickets.
Didn't he sit on his bench?
No, he had a pencil in his ear, but then everything was laminated. So how are you writing with a pencil and laminated paper? You look backwards hat.
Yeah, and Josh McDaniels. You had Romeo Crennel. What's the guy's name that he coached for Notre Dame as well?
No Plano.
And anyways, yeah, they never worked out. Yeah, so I don't think. I mean, man, Josh McDaniels is such a good offensive coordinator. Like it was awesome.
Was he or was it Brady? Listen, man, the question must be asked. I mean, Brady.
I don't know. It's a good question. It really. So just to answer that question, the obvious answer, yeah, it was all Brady.
At this point,
Like, what is Belichick doing? He's 80-something years old. He's not that mad scientist anymore.
He's chasing down the shoe.
That's what he's doing. And he has how many more? I think he has like 30 more, which is in a good season you could do that in 3 years, right?
Well, he's going to be playing 10. We coach at 10 more.
So I think he's so close to being Don Shula, you might as well stick it out. But when are they going to press the phone? When is Robert Kraft going to be like, enough is enough? Because we talked about this at length. When was it? It will never happen again.
No, the 20-year dynasty, let's call it what it was. The 20-year, it's never happening again. No team is ever winning 6 Super Bowls again. That was an anomaly. And the crazy thing is too, if you look at social media, kids who grew up, the last 25, 30 years, they think that's like the norm. That's the whole thing. They ask the quarterback, how many rings you got? You know how hard it is to get a Super Bowl ring?
One. I'm still looking for one. All I need is one. Please, I will get a tattoo on my back of the Super Bowl trophy.
You should get it now just in case.
Yeah, right. No regrets.
Be that guy.
But man, it will never happen, and Tom Brady will never happen too. But, and that's where the respect level comes in no matter what. I had the opportunity to see Tom Brady two or three times, I believe, in Buffalo, and man, he's amazing to watch, and he really did bring success. Now, could you have planned it? Nope. He's 199 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, well, moving on really quick so we got Jimmy G out. He has concussion protocol.
Is he in concussion protocol?
Yeah, I think he
took
has.
a shock, man. He got lifted up like a pretzel.
Devontae Adams is frustrated. With age, they shipped his best friend away, who was his quarterback. He questions the culture of winning. But didn't Tom Brady just buy into that venture?
He did. He's part owner. Well,
So-
I don't know if it's finalized, but he was buying into the ring.
And yeah, was getting rid of Carr the right move. Because Carr, let's just take away the fact that he might be hurt for the next game or two. Carr looks amazing.
Carr
And
gives
it's
you the ability to win.
Yes, yeah. And they deflated him. And they got Devontae Adams for him. So I don't know what on there.
The Raiders, man.
Yeah, the Raiders. What are you gonna do? And it's in Vegas, so I feel like they might be a little sidetracked. New England versus New Jersey Jets, 15-10. So the Jets have not beat New England for 15 years.
One of 15 years. They've lost 15 times in a row.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So they are 0-15.
The last time they beat the Jets, or the Jets beat them,
Gas was under $2. Right?
Obama was president. Yeah, there's so many other things that I forget, but I mean, it's been a long time, and we can say all we want about New England right now, which we kind of just talked about, is Bill Belichick washed out or whatever, but the biggest question, I believe, and you were right, like, my God, I don't think you knew how to call it, like,
BK Notre Dame over here.
yes.
I told you. Hold on.
Jets
Let
are
me-
floating.
I said the Jets will implode by week 6, and that was with Aaron Rodgers.
With Aaron Rodgers.
The Jets have a Super Bowl roster. All they need is a quarterback. But the roster's that good, and they should be able to elevate Zach Wilson, which they can't do. And I did not think the Jets were a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers. So without him, it's even more of a disaster. The play calling, we're all about the running game. We got Dalvin Cook. They're not using them. I think Dalvin Cook's got 58 yards on the whole year.
Why would you? Yeah. It takes pressure off of Zach Wilson.
Right.
You have a
This is
stud.
They're fighting on the sidelines already.
I know.
Robert Salas, he's
Well,
stuttering at the podium.
and he has to go to bat for his quarterback. And they asked him, "Do you think Zach Wilson's your guy?" He goes, "Zach Wilson right now." Pause. He goes, "Is the best chance to win right now." No, he's not. Get somebody off free agency, pull him out of retirement, because Zach Wilson. I call that team a Ferrari the other week, and maybe they are. Maybe they're a Ferrari test road in 1988. But they are a good team. They are. On paper, they are stacked.
Well, Super Bowls
So-
and games aren't won on paper.
Right, for sure. They're one on grass, but on paper, there's no reason. Let's go to the playoffs. But now you have to improvise. They're desperate. It's only week 3. So you have 14 other weeks to right this ship. You're in a very competitive division. So what are you going to do? What can they do? What can be done? Like,
There's
who
a
do
few,
they get?
there's a few things. One,
It's not Zach Wilson.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. All the blame goes on Zach Wilson, right? It's easy to blame too. But is he being set up for success? Like, what are the offensive coaches doing? What's Robert Saleh doing to help him? I don't see anything. Nathaniel Hackett, and let's be real, when they brought in Rodgers, they brought in all Rodgers' friends. Nathaniel Hackett was his friend. Boyle, the backup quarterback, Rodgers' friend. Lazar, they brought in his buddies to surround him, and it's not working for Zach Wilson.
And this isn't Aaron Rodgers' fault, but what was your plan B?
Right.
Because no one called the fourth play in his Jets career that he was going to go down. Now your season is, what's your plan B? Because your plan B was getting rid of Mike White, who could have actually done that better than Zach Wilson.
Had a touchdown yesterday.
Yes, he did, and a good one. And your plan B is Zach Wilson. Now, I understand if you watch Hard Knocks that, you really did hope that someone like Aaron Rodgers, who's very methodical, is very he looks like a good coach, would kind of instill kind of some, and I think
Some juice.
some juice, and you kind of saw it kind of happening.
So I gotta be honest, I don't buy it. So here's my take on the Aaron Rodgers thing, real quick. Aaron Rodgers is a California kid, born and raised in California, went to school in California. Then he moves to Green Bay. He's in Green Bay for 20 years. I'm supposed to believe that over the summer he became a diehard New Yorker and wants to see the Jets with a trophy. Come on, man. All of a sudden he cares about the New York Jets after 20 years in Cali, 20 years in Green Bay. It's amazing marketing.
Yes.
NFL did great marketing.
He has to drink the green punch. I mean, he really does.
And a lot of the Jets stuff was Hard Knocks hype. The NFL and HBO does Hard Knocks hype. Good for them. They were the off-season champs. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, who's an off-season champ every single off-season? Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. However, I hate the fact that every single year, over the past 10 years, they drafted Jordan Love. Oh my God, what is Aaron Rodgers thinking? Every single year.
Can you imagine buying an Aaron Rodgers jersey and wearing it for 70 seconds?
Yeah, Chris, how does that feel?
$150 for an Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Yeah, well, it's $49.99.
Temu.
From my website.
But there was no way the Jets would beat the Patriots. By the way, I do a what's it called, a confidence pool with my family, and I did not pick. I gave the Patriots a big win.
Another thing we didn't really kind of dive into was that I don't think Zach Wilson actually wanted to play. I think he got comfortable making this bad first round draft paycheck and Mom's best friend. And then just being coached by arguably one of the best quarterbacks in this.
What do you think of Mac Jones?
I feel like Mac Jones is better. If this is what you're asking, better than Zach Wilson.
What about Zach? Kenny. Kenny's a big Patriots guy. He loves that.
Yeah, they have not got any of the quarterbacks for the Patriots. They have Juju Smith-Schuster, which
Yeah.
They have him, and that's it. That's it.
You think about that?
But after his prime, but they don't have anybody for him to throw to, because I don't think Mac Jones is amazing, but I feel like he's a pretty decent quarterback. At least if you had a big number one receiver like Devontae, Tyreek Hill, that would help him substantially. Then you have a mediocre or good, better than average number 2, and then just do that. But he doesn't have anyone to throw to, and they're giving people that sort of time. Schuster doesn't. He's never been a number 1. Ezekiel didn't have his heyday. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is going to make Schuster look good, but
I did feel weird rooting for the Pats yesterday.
thank you, Bostonians, because you kind of
Go Pats fans.
helped level the AFC East a little bit.
We liked it. It was good.
All right, so the reason why I want to cover this is Arizona and Dallas. There's the big D, and I don't mean my big D. There's a big D, press the panic button. I don't think so. I feel like That was an anomaly. I feel like Arizona just had a good game, and I feel like they actually wanted to play someone. James Conner had a really good game, and they just picked it up. So
I think Dallas is easily missing Michael Parsons. That's a huge,
I know, Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, right.
Missing Trayvon Diggs.
So that was a huge hole. Right.
Because when he's on the
He's a
field,
ball.
but they play more aggressive. But they play aggressive defense, and they couldn't do that yesterday with him gone.
You can't throw it near Trayvon Diggs.
No, you can't. And, you know, they rush better. Dak struggles to play from behind.
And Mike McCarthy is not a super confident quarterback or coach. I do think he's a decent, better than average coach. However, I feel like he was overhyped for a very long time.
But there's a term, any given Sunday, and that's legit. Like, did anybody think that the Cardinals were going to beat the Cowboys? There was no chance in hell anybody was thinking that was happening. Even Cardinals fans weren't thinking that was happening.
And really quick, I just want to shout out to our sponsors, Plumbing and Pink, Rusty and Lynn Greer, 864-735-7014. Brown and Buddy Bars, we kind of seeing that problem every once in a while. Rusty is a great guy and highly reliable, as well as Chris Pryor, Service Realty, 864-380-0525. I also met him a couple times. Super nice guy. He'll take care of your home needs, buying and selling, and looking. And we are at Tornado's Pizza, 116 North Barclay Street, Greenville, 864-603-3500. Awesome pizza, great hospitality. Get a beer while you're waiting for your pizza. You have to be 21, for the kids that are watching. All you kids that are watching, get those thick ideas going.
We haven't used any profanity, so I hope kids are watching the show. We are a family-friendly.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not.
Oh, we haven't gotten the Bills Dolphins talk.
No, we have half an hour left. We're carving out. We're getting through the juice, so we can get to a little bit of alcohol. That's at the bottom of that. Yeah. But yeah, so Arizona, I feel like just had a good game. Yeah, any given Sunday, right? I think Dallas is for real. I hate saying that because, man, Dallas is one of the most, if not the most annoying players in the NFL.
Is it because they wear jean shorts and white beaters? Does that bother you?
Yeah, I mean, that would bother anybody. That's not a good look. And
knockoff Jordans?
And they beat the Bills in the Super Bowl 2 times a year.
Never going to let that go.
Yeah, I'm never going to. Anyways, congrats to Arizona. You certainly made a lot of people talk about you today. So I will go to my game, Buffalo 37, Washington 3. Now, the spread on this game was 8. Yeah. So, no one covered on that. And the reason I kind of want to cover this is, a lot of people after the week 1 game said, Josh made a lot of mistakes, which he did. He lost the game for us, for the Bills, and it was embarrassing. It was awful, and I feel like McDermott and Ken Dorsey had a heart-to-heart, and we're actually watching it right now. But I had a heart-to-heart with him, and something changed, something clicked. Because over the past 2 weeks, he's been playing smart football, very clean. Yesterday, Josh was on point with his throwing. He ran what he needed to ran, and he got himself a little touchdown. He was throwing dimes to Gabe Davis. He was throwing dimes to Steph Diggs, and he ran and he slid, and he had that cape on, but he didn't need to wear the cape the whole damn time.
He did really good against the Raiders and the Commanders.
Right. Yeah. But
the
biggest thing.
Yesterday, hold on. Did he really have a cape yesterday, or did the defense?
So I was getting into that. I feel the defense won the game, and obviously Well, you know, so
Would you say Josh Allen was carried by the defense?
no, it wasn't even because we did score offensive touchdown, but the defense really they look scary. And is it now coming into fruition that McDermott is calling the plays? We got rid of Leslie Frazier. Listen, he had a piece of Cadillac for way too long and did nothing with it. I'll bring it back to the Bengals playoff game in Buffalo, where you have arguably the best 3 wide receivers in the game, and you did soft zone coverage with Jamar Chase. Basically, how Tyreek Hill was yesterday.
It was very bizarre play.
And so we can't have that. And especially with such a dominant defense over the past 4 years. Do I argue that Frazier brought us that promise, but he just got stale? I see a significant amount of aggressiveness through our defense with McDermott calling that, and I love it. I mean, AJ Epinesa, like, don't you love when you see a big man running for a touchdown? It is fun, right?
It's fun for them if they never get to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And by the way, so we got Leonard Floyd in free agency, which he's the one who actually hurt Aaron Rodgers. Leonard Floyd, and he had, I think, almost 2 sacks yesterday and just disrupted a bunch of things. It was 9 sacks.
Yeah,
9 sacks.
They beat
4
St. Paul.
turnovers. 3 being interceptions. They look nasty. Oh, and we don't have Von Miller yet. So, my God, it's going to get nasty. And you know what, Von? If you're listening to this podcast, just sit down, bro.
Yeah,
Just sit down.
Von Miller tuned in as soon as we went live.
We need you chasing down Mahomes in the playoffs. So sit out, enjoy it. You're getting paid. You're learning, whatever. But so it brings us to the last of our
You mean
games.
the video game that happened?
The video
yesterday?
game. So-
Madden that got played.
So I think Mike McDaniel before the game had his little controller goes upright, left, right, PA, whatever.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
70 points and look. The Dolphins had more yards yesterday than the Jets have all season.
I mean,
They scored 10 touchdowns.
700.
It was like 746 yards or something ridiculous.
You know, what can you say? Like, you know, you know what they were saying if you were tuning into watching YouTube on with NFL. They were comparing it, and I don't know if you were a huge fan of it, but I was. The greatest show on turf was the 99 Rams with Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk, and they were just tearing stuff out.
If they would have kept Tua in the game, they could have scored 100. I mean, seriously, they pulled
But they
Tua.
weren't trying to rack up points.
Well, they didn't want to humiliate him.
Yeah.
It was already humiliating.
It was.
The Dolphins' second straight.
We'll get to that
was
why it was
wrong.
more humiliating. But it was very humiliating. But I mean, who is it? Who's doing this? It has to be a combination.
It's time for all the haters out there to stop it and respect Tua. Tua is unbelievable. You can give Mike Daniels credit for great coach, but I don't think it's fair to negate Tua's accomplishments. That's like saying Patrick Mahomes would suck without Andy Reid, or Tim Brady would suck without Belichick. You can't do that. Tua is playing on a different level than the rest of the
Listen, until we actually beat them, I can't say anything. They are amazing to watch. I watched the first game with you and against the Chargers, and I mean, Tua just throws. I mean, Tua is pretty accurate. I look around and I say, Tua just throws it up and just hits Tyreek Hill. And yeah, we talked about it pre-podcast. This was out Jalen, they're arguably their third best.
Jalen Waddle's not even there.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes the Dolphins so dangerous is, so look at week 1, right? It was a ball-out air assault.
Yeah.
2 and 3 for 466. Hill did 210, went off, but the run game was soft, and they couldn't stop Austin Eckler.
Right.
So week 2, they come out. Belichick, being the defensive genius he is, he designs the game plan to not let them go deep. What they do, they ran all over, right? And just destroyed them with the run game. And then yesterday was just a combination. They were like, we'll get you in the air, the ground, and special teams, defense. I think it was Christian Wilkins had a pick, like knocked the ball up in the air.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Gainwell had a return.
Oh, and by the way, they were in every single free agency running back sweepstakes, especially down the field. Like, why?
I was against
Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert.
He looked like he was an all-star runner.
Yeah, they're putting the video game numbers. They're at the beginning of the season. It was
you're on cheat mode. You're on cheat mode.
It was all if you could just get Jonathan Taylor. You I don't want Jonathan Taylor. Don't sign him. Don't make any trades. Keep everything.
It went. The Miami Dolphins were in every single sweepstakes. Conversation on it. Now, were they actually doing it, or was it clickbait? Who knows? Only the front office would know that. But you certainly were being down the clip, being a South Florida boy, or in that conversation. Aren't you glad you kept your team?
Yes. I was very vocally against getting any of those guys. I think Chris Greer, the GM, he takes a lot of flack for some, but man, he has put together a roster. It's gonna be fun. I think this Sunday, as a Dolphins fan, shout out to Fins fans in the upstate.
Actually, we're going for an hour. Shout out to upstate Bills backers. But we are going to be watching the game together. My good buddy here.
We should do it live like this, huh?
Oh man,
it will not be kid friendly.
It will not be kid friendly. There'll be definitely holes in the wall. I'll bring some spackle.
I think it's a true test for both teams.
Yeah. Well, it's week 4. I get it, but arguably, well, not even arguably, like this will be our toughest challenge so far, and
vice versa for sure. I'm excited for it. The Bills are favored 2.5. The home team automatically gets 3. So I don't know if you look. I guess Vegas is saying they're pretty much evenly matched.
Yeah, you add that 2.5 to 1. It's a pick 'em or something.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a great time. The weather's supposed to be nice. No
the
snow.
weather in Orchard Park, the weather's supposed to be beautiful this time of year.
No heat because we know the Bills can't handle the heat.
Right. It'll be beautiful in November in South Florida.
No ice to throw to it.
Yeah, no ice. And by the way, I heard that Dolphins fans in Orchard Park are doing the same thing. So
they're San Diego citizens.
If you're from South, I was saying South Florida. All right, we know better.
I will say this too, though. Watching that Dolphin game at Hall of Fame on Sunday, it just became laughable. Like how you cheer when your team wins, everybody's going nuts. Once it got to like 60 points, it was more like a throw your hands up, like what is going on? It became like a joke. So, no, they're looking good. Try playing Sonaros today. It's not going to be objective. Objectively, the Dolphins are looking like one of the best teams.
Well, right now they are. Yeah. They are the best team in the NFL. Now, can that be sustainable? Who knows? Like that's week 3, and if you have good secondary, are you going to let that happen? Because it almost isn't there. So,
and Gina Ramsey's still out.
Yeah,
he's going to come back. It's going to be
yeah, exactly. So, but I think another talking point to this is, listen, like, what Sean Payton did to Hackett, we talked about it last week with Chris here. It was way out of line.
He's getting coach karma, right?
Is this really karma, or is this like, you're not that good of a coach either? I mean, well, you went into it, Sean Payton focused in on the wrong shit on the offseason. That was your that was a priority for you to come out and say, well, Nathaniel Hackett did one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL history. Nope. Yesterday you did. because that was all on you. Actually, Russell Wilson, as much as I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, and showed this year and last year, he didn't have that bad of a game.
So I think it comes down to like what we talked about earlier, right? So, is it Tua or is it McDaniel? Is it Mahomes? Is it Andy Reid? Is it Herbert? Is he failing because of
Brandon,
Staley, sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing with that. Is it Sean Payton or was it Drew Brees? Like, I hate doing that,
Right.
but you got to wonder, like.
Well, it's also a combination.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Having a coach quarterback combination makes the world. Now can he? And now Sean Payton has a Super Bowl, so clearly there's an ego there, right?
Right? You get equity on that.
Of course. So did he? Look, Sean Payton was off. He was going to sign a deal with Fox for like $3 million to be a.
But he was actually, that's what he did.
Yeah, and then he bailed. He wanted to get back to coaching, which I get. And he had an ego. He was going to come in and he was going to take Russell Wilson to the next level.
Well, and then look at how Russell Wilson showed up to that franchise. He showed up basically with a fur jacket on, shaved, very bronzy.
Right.
And wanted his own office in the stadium. Just with his
He did, right? He had a corner office.
Yes, to conduct side business and stuff like that. So, and he really does think he's as talent. And I mean, I don't want to get into personal business, but Sierra's not that big a superstar. I'm sorry, like
Sea level.
Sierra.
She's a C-list. She's not Taylor Swift.
No.
Who, by the way, Travis Kelce. Hold on, real quick before we do that. So is Taylor Swift being with Travis Kelce like when Jessica Simpson was with Tony Romo?
No.
Remember when they were dating and half of the Cowboys games had Taylor or Jessica Simpson up there? Is it going to see the same thing?
I'll answer it like this. Has Jessica Simpson ever had a $2 billion tour?
No, but but my question is are half of Chiefs games now going to be video shots of Taylor up there?
Well, I would answer that this way as well. So Brittany and Jackson, you had your airtime. Because you ain't getting airtime anymore. Not with Taylor Swift in the same suite.
Swifties are wild.
Oh,
my daughter's a
they're
Swiftie.
loyal. They are loyal, and you know what? She's like the next Madonna, Michael Jackson. Like, not trying to compare the
Now, hold
talents.
on. The kids are claiming, because I keep my ear to the streets with the youth,
Yeah.
they are claiming that Taylor Swift has passed Michael Jackson as greatest performer, entertainer of all time.
Yeah, I don't think so. MJ's better than LeBron. Michael Jackson is way better. Taylor Swift can't dance. I'm sorry. So get out of here. Hey, listen. And yeah, right. You're a hating, but hey, listen. I'm not gonna take away their talent. And she is definitely a great songwriter and everything. However, I want to get into my boy Travis because I do like Travis Kelce.
2 minute Taylor Swift conversation.
Yeah, right, exactly. Look at us. Are we a nice little fun one? Talking about manifesting to destiny. I feel like I'm like The Secret, right? I feel like I'm gonna date Taylor Swift, and then there she is, and she I at one point said nah, and all of a sudden she's just like.
She was like,
My boyfriend caught a touchdown by Pat Mahomes, which, I mean, I don't know why she's freaking out. Like, Travis Kelce and Mahomes have been, doing it for 4
did you
years
see
now.
that Mahomes said he felt obligated?
Yes,
to
yeah.
touchdown. What a good bro, right? Like what a good
Yeah,
bro.
right.
Hey man,
Wingman.
I got you.
Wingman, yeah.
Hey, your new girl's up in the stands. I'm gonna throw you a touchdown.
Yeah, just give me tickets,
Yeah.
for the next nearest
That's a
concert.
good bro.
But, I mean, so yeah, I'm glad for you, Travis. It looks like you're a cool dude. Your brother's definitely a cool dude. I totally listen to his podcast, and they're funny on it. So, we'll see. We'll see. He might be another song. Down the road,
Yeah, I'll give it a year. It'll be another.
Yeah, it'll be another song, which I actually don't want.
It'll be called
I don't want to hear it, Travis Kelce.
The tight end.
Am I so far removed to think that like I would like him as a cameo in a video with him like rocking the grill and a Versace shirt?
Travis
Like,
Kelce.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. The Versace and the grill. I mean, now you paint the picture. I'm all
I mean, that's just Travis Kelce right there. But anyways, so we will be here next week. One of us will probably be dead by the other, and you know, we'll see. But
We have Facebook comments to read. Is that how this works? We gotta do that.
my God,
You've been slacking.
I haven't
Responding to your
we have more
likes.
viewers than
Well, you got the killer bees on the attack.
yeah, we have killer bees.
It's kind of how we roll, you know?
Let's read some of the comments. We have
It's
about,
probably, hey, get these guys off the air.
let's see.
That's my wife posting pictures. All right, there you go. Tonight's games, real quick though, while you're searching. So is Burrow playing? Do we have any word if Burrow's playing?
I don't have a word on that. This is how prepared we are.
Speaking of injuries, Mike Williams for the Chargers was out ruled out effective today. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Are we live? Yeah.
Better.
All right. So the Bills haven't played a real team yet and lost to the Jets. Oh my. Well, we actually covered that, Tyler. And we did say that this will be the first challenge for both teams.
Thank you, Tyler, for your
Yeah,
comment. That's a good one.
yeah.
I hope there's more just like that.
Yes, but Miami will get to Allen early and he will make mistakes. All right, fair enough. Bills shut the case will always stay empty.
It sounds like the Finns fans of the upstate are weighing in on
So
the comments.
why did I pull up this? Was this a good move? Yeah, it really does sound like the Finns on the upstate. All right, well, Kenny's on. He's a Patriots fan, so. Nice one yesterday, buddy. But yeah, we'll see. I will write down your name, Tyler, and Steve, and that's your dad, right? Steve Kelly?
Yeah. Good job, Dad. Way to get Craig around.
Okay, Papa Kelly. I will have your number next week. I'm gonna make it I'm gonna manifest it in destiny, like Travis Kelce did, and we're gonna win. That's complicated. Let's do a little scorecard. What do we feel? Miami.
Well, the Dolphins just dropped 70, so if we cut that in half, that's 35 against the Bills.
And you're gonna score 35?
I think the Dolphins will put up 35.
35 to what?
28. 35-28.
28. Okay.
Allen will have a minimum of 2 turnovers.
Well, Miami. This is Brandon. I'm going to say it's going to be 21 Buffalo, 17 Miami.
So you think
We will contain.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think the highest octane offense in history
Well,
is only scoring 17?
You're not listen against Denver by all means. Denver doesn't have a defense like that. Denver doesn't have a defense like the other team. So I feel like we can contain you. Now, could it be? I feel like it's going to be a close game no matter what. Because it is arguably definitely the best team in the NFL right now. First one of the powerhouses of the NFL. So it'll be a very contained game, no matter who comes out on top. It's not going to be 70 to 50 or something like that. It'll be a very contained game.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the NFL is kicking themselves in the ass for not making this a Week 5 game? Because if it was Week 5, they could flex this to Sunday nights.
Yeah, I think right now, no one saw the amount of excitement that the Dolphins are going to generate. Now, yeah, you could have predicted. I mean, it's not even the Bills bringing it; it's the Dolphins bringing it. You know what I mean? Like they're the most exciting team in the NFL right now because they're on cheat mode in the NFL and Madden right
You
now.
know the Sunday night game is Jets again, right?
Yeah, it's Jets and
It doesn't.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
We're
matter.
going to get rolled.
But it's the Jets and the Chiefs. My God. I mean, that's just going to be hilarious.
NBC, I bet is. You gotta get a phone the NFL. For the love of God, change
Yeah.
the rule right now. Put Bills
Well,
Dolphins
no.
on.
NFL throw all that money to NBC and be like, hey, we got to change this. Because money can buy anything.
Isn't it funny that they went? That just shows you how the NFL again. Back to what I said at the beginning about all the marketing.
let's not. I don't.
They went all in on.
I want to win a pot game.
You know, wait, see it.
No, I want a 1 o'clock game, because I like my 1 o'clock. Where I'm getting,
Oh, because you don't want to be hungover on Monday.
no, and I don't want to be up late.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah, those 8 o'clock games.
It's,
I'm getting too old for that.
I am. Yeah, I need my Metamucil and, you know.
We're all not young like Kenny, who can stay up late.
Yeah, let's see who else has replied. Oh, I put him to shame. I shut him up.
Not a boy. Way to do that.
Here we go. Well, anyways, all right, so that's 200 football. I am Brandon Brady Patrick.
And I'm your boy BK.
And be the killer bees right here. Hold on, I will,
You got this.
that's how we roll.
One more time. Hit it.
The wave effect, that's how we are.
Nailed it.
Yeah, we want to thank our sponsors, Plumbing and Paint, Rusty and Lynn Greer, 864-735-7014. They do plumbing, they do AC, they do a lot of things. Call them up. Rusty's a really nice guy. Chris Pryor with Service Realty, 864-308-0525. And we are at Tendaro's Pizza, 116 North Markley Street in Greenville, 864-603-3500. Today is $5 off special pizza night.
Is it really?
Yeah, cheap pizza night, $5 off pizza. So amazing pizza. I've had it. I get pizza here all the time. And John's a friend of ours, and just awesome pizza. Take it from me. I'm from New York. I have some certain. I'm a pizzioli. I'm a pizza chef.
He made pizza.
I spun it and everything.
It
So
was delicious.
and we smoked pizza over the weekend watching that movie. We didn't smoke it. We just smoked it.
Yeah. We didn't smoke
Yeah, that would have been fun. Anyways, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Take care.